Hello and welcome to today's reading. Today I have a very exciting and special reading for you. We are collaborating with the wonderful and magical Alyssa from Celtic Fairy Tarot. She has channeled some messages for you from the Selkie, which I will allow her to explain more in depth, but they are an ocean spirit from the Celtic and Norse mythologies, if I am not mistaken. So after this video, I'll leave a reminder. Go down in the description box and you'll find a link to her reading for you there if you haven't come over from her video already. But let's get into our reading today. We are channeling messages from Salacia, the Roman goddess of the ocean. Today we are reading from the Peterson First Guide to Shells of North America by Jackie Leatherbury Douglas. And as always, all of the books or decks that are used in my readings are linked in the description box. So if you want to check out any of the materials we use today, you can go down there and see that. And we are on page 26, Gastropods, Tritons and Relatives. The larger Triton shells have been used as trumpets in many parts of the world since ancient times. After a small hole is drilled in the spire, the shell produces a trumpet-like sound when blown. The first nuclear submarine to sail completely around the world submerged in 1960 was named Triton after the Greek sea god. For thousands of years, statues and pictures have shown the gods Triton and Neptune blowing Triton shell trumpets. So this is very on the nose and very perfect for our reading today, as Triton was the son of Salacia and Neptune. This image of Triton and Neptune using these shells as trumpets is really sticking in my head. I am getting this energy of someone announcing something, someone being a herald of something, and this sound vibration really resonating through the water, through the people, through the land, that there is change coming. This is happening now. And not only just announcing it, but also shaping it. There is this idea that the ancients created many of the megalithic structures that we see today by using sound, not only to necessarily lift these heavy objects, but also to turn it into a soft, pliable material and actually mold the objects. And this is very reminiscent of the message that I am getting through from Salacia. To begin this reading, I want to give you an overview of Salacia's story. Before she became a goddess, Salacia was a shy and modest nymph who caught the attention of Neptune, who was the god of the sea. Neptune was completely enamored by her beauty and grace, and so he proposed to her. But Salacia refused him. Neptune was absolutely determined to win her over, so he sent her dolphins with messages of his love and affection over and over and over again. Eventually, Salacia was completely overwhelmed by his affections, and she agreed to marry Neptune. This decision on her part had significantly more transformative repercussions than she ever could have realized, as when she married Neptune, she was exalted from being a nymph into a goddess. And her goddess energy would solidify her embodiment of the serenity and peaceful nature of the sea. Salacia's visual depictions often showcase her surrounded by a myriad of sea creatures and marine life. Her energy and essence can be compared to the glistening light dancing on the surface of the ocean and the gentle, rhythmic crashing of the waves upon the shore. While Salacia represents the divine feminine in connection with the oceans, she's not the only goddess of the oceans in global mythology. Some other notable sea goddesses like Sedna and Tiamat depict the more chaotic aspects of the divine feminine. These depictions mirror the duality within the overarching polarity of the divine feminine archetype. And for this reading, although we will be channeling from Salacia specifically, all of the feminine water deities will be present as well. Salacia is also a planetoid in the Kuiper belt, which is currently being studied by astrologers who acknowledge and use the Kuiper belt. And one of my favorite astrologers who talks about Salacia, the planetoid, is Pam Gregory. I will leave a link to her information in the description box. Triton is the son of Salacia and Neptune, and this depiction here of the gods using the shells as a trumpet brings about the idea of a herald to me, a herald that is announcing and declaring something to any and everyone who can hear it, as well as the universe at large. Triton, being Salacia's son, is also bringing the energy of progeny. What you are and embody in this life will carry on, regardless of whether you have children. Your lineage is in every person and every object that you encounter, and by virtue of your encountering it, your influence. Salacia is showing me here that the picture of our lives, our problems, our joys, are so much larger and integral to the health of the universe than we could ever realize. Just like a current in the ocean is only one small part of the total ocean, its impact on the entire sea and therefore planet is irreplaceable. Salacia has a very deep connection with saltwater, not only because of her marriage with Neptune, but also because she was originally a sea nymph. She was born of the salt water. You could consider this to be a divine characteristic of water, and Salacia specifically represents the nurturing tranquility that water possesses, whereas a goddess like Sedna or Tiamat portray the more chaotic, dark mother type of energy. Salt water holds both practical and metaphysical significance for us as human beings. On a practical level, it reminds us of our human tears, which are salty and often serve as an emotional release, which allow us to down-regulate our nervous system and let go of pain and sorrow. Salacia is showing me that all of humanity is crying, and while we might think of that as a sad or depressing image, it's not that humanity is upset, but rather that there has been so much collective pain and suffering within humanity that at this time we are finally allowing ourselves to really feel the impact of that on the story of humanity, on the story of our planet. And Salacia is saying that this release is incredibly healing and beneficial, because as all of these pains and sorrows come up to the surface, we are processing them and finally deciding what to do with them. We are at this choice point right now. I am also being shown sweat. Sweat is also a salty water. It's also a saline solution. And the sweat of humanity I am being shown is the result of us being put under pressure, both by our own actions as well as the forces of the universe and the energies within this realm of human existence, asking us, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And we have been dithering for a while where we haven't quite decided that we want one type of new earth versus another. And having this sweat being shown to me, I am seeing that we are being put under pressure with a lot of issues and a lot of problems being as they are brought up to the surface while we are crying and releasing, they are coming up to be dealt with by humanity at large, and by that, it means on an individual level. So as humanity is being put into a position where we are under high heat, high pressure, we are being forced to choose what it is we want. And what we want is directly related to our values. And our values are our needs. So what is it that you need? What is it that you value? Because these values will craft the future of humanity. If you do it consciously, then you get to have a vote. If you do it subconsciously, it will come through the shadow. So if you want a part in crafting New Earth, the best way to do that is to get as clear as possible on your personal values. I am also being shown all of the animals and the microbial life within the massive body of water that is the ocean, and I am being shown how interconnected they are and how they are almost suspended in this plasma-like substance that is this highly viscous water. I'm getting the sense of community and interconnectedness, just as the marine life coexists harmoniously in the ocean. All of the individuals within a conscious community, although each unique, play a vital role in creating the total picture. So each individual is 100% unique, and because of that uniqueness, they have value to the system. So values are coming up again. This image is also showing me how information can be transferred and communicated. The salt water is highly conductive to energy, and it will carry electrical currents and information very quickly. There are literal oceanic currents as well, like the Gulf Stream or the Kuroshio current, which show that while there is individual difference, which is marked by the direction of their flow, in contrast with the direction of the flow of the water around them, or lack of direction, they are still a part of the whole of the ocean, and they are integral to the health of the oceanic ecosystem. So I'm getting that for those of you who look at New Earth and look at oneness consciousness and are wondering, how can I exist as an individual and vote for something like that? Won't it completely annihilate me? The answer is no, because while individuation exists, you are still a part of the whole ocean. And not only that, it relies on your ability to individuate yourself from other. But the difference is, with oneness consciousness, unity consciousness, is that your individuality is a part of the whole. It wouldn't change that or encroach upon your definition. It would just remind you that you are part of the ocean. Your individualness is what flavors the sea. Water also carries light and sound within it. It doesn't necessarily need to be salt water, but the ocean is a microcosmic example of how energy behaves, both as a particle and a wave. Obviously, the wave is a more literal representation, but all waves are, in the motion and frequency of the peaks of a wave, is information. So water can store and transfer and transmute information by light, by sound, by frequency of the water waves itself. All of this enables the encoding of enormous amounts of information. The ocean is a giant data bank, and it is still collecting information, and it has always collected information. So I'm being shown that at this time, if you spend time with water, whether it's water that you drink, water that you bathe in, or maybe you go to the beach or a lake or a river or out in the rain. Take a moment when you are engaging with water to really focus on it and just think about what it took for that water to get to where you are. How much of the planet did it cross? Did it come from a cloud? Did it come from directly a water source like the ocean or a river? Did it come from a faucet? Where did it come from with that? I'm hearing watersheds. If you want to research your local watersheds, that might be important too. But anything you can do to create a connection with water that you are intaking or experiencing in your environment is going to bring you lots of clarity and insight and peace, is what I am seeing. It is also being suggested that you try encoding your water directly. So if you buy natural spring water or well water, as pure as you can get it, with as least change of hands as you can get it, I would like to say that it is not a good idea to go to streams and rivers and drink directly from it. You can get these fancy straws that will filter the water for you, but there's all sorts of things that you don't necessarily want in your body. But if you can get the purest water you can think of and sit with it and meditate on a particular feeling that you want to embody or that you already do embody and want to expand on, like love, gratitude, abundance, and drink that water after, that water will have been encoded. And because it's such a pure, strong vibration and you're ingesting it, your body is going to be forced into alignment with that vibration. So that might be a practice that interests you. Water in general, and also salt water specifically, is very antiseptic. It is an incredible cleanser, especially of wounds. And I'm being shown again this purging of humanity's pain and suffering by interacting with water, by interacting with deities like Salacia. I'm being shown, it's a feeling that I'm having. It's almost like a bittersweet feeling. The entire planet is begging us to just let it heal us. It can heal us. We don't need to heal it. We need to stop getting in the way of our own healing and be in a space of allowing and openness and allow the water to heal us. Allow the planet to heal us. Because all we need to do is get quiet and focus and pay attention, and we can feel all of these amazing things that we wish we had, like safety and abundance and connection, by just engaging with nature in general. But of course, Salacia would prefer if you engage with the ocean. But the overall message that we are getting here is that we each need to individually surrender to the transformative journey of healing that humanity is going through right now. It is not the prettiest time, I know, but this is an incredibly important moment where we are starting to be unable to suppress these issues anymore, and so they are coming to the surface. And as they do, we collectively and individually get to decide what to do with this pain. Are we going to learn from it? Are we going to discern based on the pain that we have what it is we are needing? For example, if you are feeling unsupported by society, then therefore you wish to be supported by society or to feel supported. And that means that your value is to have support. So can we pick apart these experiences that we're having at a global scale and at an individual scale to discern what it is we are really wanting consciously, and directly ask and bring about the solution to those values? as we individually discover what we truly need and want on an individual level, humanity at large will gain a deeper understanding of its collective needs and desires. And then we can have a more cohesive vibration relative to what it is we are asking for from the universe and from ourselves. You hold the power to shape your own destiny and contribute to the co-creation of New Earth by aligning your thoughts, behaviors, and words with these values and taking the time to uncover your values. You will become the herald of New Earth that you were meant to be. Every thought you think, everything you do, every behavior you repeat, and everything you say shapes your future and serves as your vote for how our collective future will manifest. So everything that you do every single day is shaping what New Earth is going to look like. Do you want to bring more happiness, joy, connectedness, and excitement into New Earth? Then that's what you must bring into your everyday. I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. It was pretty epic. I'm so excited to be able to collaborate with beautiful people like Alyssa at Celtic Fairy Tarot. So if you haven't come over here from her video, definitely go and check it out. It will be linked in the description box. And don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this reading. What are you hoping that New Earth looks like? What are you hoping that changes or adapts in the future? Like this video if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you do that, hit the notification bell and select all notifications so that you actually get updated every time I upload a new video. Until next time.